to be politically oriented? Do you want a platform where you get updated with socio-political issues? Then Veegilants is the right place for you. Join Folashade Adebi every Fridays 4 p.m. WAT to discuss socio-political issues in society. Martin Luther King Jr. once said, "Change does not roll in on the wheels of inevitability, but comes through continuous struggle." Hello, listeners. Welcome to a brand new episode of Veegilants, a podcast where we discuss socio-political issues in society. Join me every Fridays for interesting and enlightening episodes. I am your host, Folashade Adebi. You can follow us for more updates by searching Veegil.com on your web browser, Veegil as in Veegil.com. Veegil.com is a debate platform where users get to interact and discuss issues affecting society. You can follow us on all our social media platforms on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter, Veegil Media, LinkedIn, Veegil, and Instagram, Veegil_media. And as always, with me is Aminat. Welcome back, Aminat.
It's nice to be here.
Okay, let's go over people's comments on the poverty rates in Nigeria. The first one here is from a user called Beams Solar. She said, "Every problem of Nigeria is intertwined. If the issue of unemployment and insecurity is solved, then poverty will decrease." Aminat, please help read the next comment.
Okay, so this one is from Ayomide123. He said the poverty rate in Nigeria is alarming and it is the root cause of all our problems. If we are to remain as a prosperous country, tackling poverty should be our main priority.
Thanks, Ayomide123 and Bisola. That will be all on our comment section. Endeavor to sign up to the platform and participate in the ongoing debate. Welcome back. Today, we'll be discussing the topic changing the narrative. Prominent individuals have changed the narrative from time immemorial. We have the likes of Nelson Mandela, who stood to end apartheid in South Africa. We have Martin Luther King Jr., the spokesperson and leader in the American civil rights movement. Here in Nigeria, we have the likes of late Chief Obafemi Awolowo, who introduced free education in Nigeria. We have the late Lateef Jakonde, the first civilian governor of Lagos State, whose tenure saw the birth of Lagos State University. Also, Ahmadu Bello, Nnamdi Azikiwe, Tafawa Balewa, Albert Macaulay, and Anthony Enaro. They were nationals who fought for Nigerian independence. They all changed the status quo in the society which we enjoy today. Unfortunately, the essence of this past struggle is gradually being erased. The Nigeria our heroes past fought for is becoming a shadow of ourselves. Aminat, what are your thoughts on this?
Quite an interesting topic, I must say. Well, in today's world, people appear to be more self-centered rather than being selfless.
Okay.
Just like you mentioned, Obafemi Awolowo, right? Part of its selflessness was the free education policy introduced in the Western region at the time, right? And this gave room for a whole lot of persons to tap into this to gain some form of education at the time, right? In fact, parents that would ordinarily have excuses as to why they could not, have their wards or children in schools, were able to, get their children to also
Enjoy
benefit, benefit from this scheme that was introduced. Because some of them would say, okay, maybe they didn't have the finance and all of those, but these were all eroded, with the free education policy Even those that would want to argue that they wanted their kids to be on farmlands and all of those, over time had no other option but to
So
seek
how
the
they
path
go.
of education for their wards and children, which was a very beautiful thing at the time, because even through that scheme we realized that even parents who would ordinarily say their girl child should not be educated, started looking towards
Yeah.
the path of education for the girl child. So, and if you look at it today, that was like one of the, that was like a beginning of, female children, getting to acquire that form of education. And, today you see most of all these beneficiaries of
Yes.
the then
They are now
education
ministers.
policy, exactly.
Yes.
They are now
Deputy governors and all that. Yeah.
exactly, they are now in various positions, in society today. In fact, you would see that it's not just even holding these positions in terms of public positions, even in the private sector. You find beneficiaries of this education, this is making waves
Policy.
to, you understand, in almost every phase of the society in today's society, right? But now it's just sad that despite efforts that the government seems to be making, we are now seeing a decline in the number of enrollments of children in schools, especially in the northern parts of Nigeria, following the activities of kidnappers, banditries, and all have you, right? So this is just a pathetic situation, because I can just imagine if the likes of Abakumi Awolowo, those that fought for
That
things
for
like
this,
this,
yes.
what would they think of if they were here today to see what's going on in Nigeria? It would be a very
Sadness story.
in fact, I can't even just picture what it is, and looking at it, there's even the report from UNESCO saying we have about 10.5 million children that are out of school. That's some very awkward statistics there, and it's devastating to think of it, and honestly, I just hope somehow we are able to tackle the insecurity we have, and perhaps have the good old days
Back.
Yeah.
Or maybe move forward.
exactly.
Okay, from your argument, you mentioned people like who enjoyed the free education. Now we can see those small children they are not adults in this society.
Exactly.
Yeah, but my question is, why are these privileges not passed down to this generation? Why are those adults not implementing what they enjoyed then? Why are they not implementing it in today's world?
Okay, so by privileges you mean like reciprocating the free
Education,
across
yes.
board and all.
Yes.
Well, like I said earlier, the honest truth is we have more self-centered people in today's world than those who are actually patriots like you would have. It takes a whole lot for someone to champion a cause like that, right? So the honest truth is the fact that we have this people at the helms of affairs, if they are not patriotic towards trying to see that things like this are passed on, it will be difficult for these things to be implemented. Because come to think of it, those that are in the legislative arms, the national assemblies, and all of those, they are people to call to really that can really take these
Actions,
moves.
yes.
You understand? But if that's not part of what they feel is going to represent or give glamour to what they feel they want for themselves, then they see no reason apparently to want to champion such a
So
cause.
they are being self-centered.
That's just the thing, because everybody wants to see what works best for me. And away from that, even when they feel they don't want to play the self-centeredness part of themselves, right?
Okay.
And they feel, okay, let's try to be patriotic. What happens to the other things that we all know? for every slight decision in Nigeria today, there's usually the tribal card that comes to
Yeah.
play.